Everyone, you ready? You ready?
Dana, are you going to record?
Are you recording? You ready to go? Okay. I am calling the meeting to order. All rise for Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag, United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. I hope the weather kind of stays this way, right?
Sorry.
It's too hot for you? I like this. So, and the goal, everyone, I have another early flight. I just got back from New York, is to finish at 9 o'clock or sooner. So let's see how we do. That's the objective. The very first item on the agenda is the homeowners associations. And is it Brayburn West, Margie Bell? Are you in the room or on the line somewhere? Was that, somebody said they weren't coming. I can't remember which one that was. I'm guessing not. What about Sherman's Pine Valley? Lannis Kuzin, is that how I said it? There's a, nope, that's Karen, right? All right, so then that means that there's no HOAs present, so we'll move right to public comment. I will open it up to everyone in the room here. Benjamin Matthews.
My name is Benjamin Matthew from 4369 Oak Leaf Lane and Oak Leaf Homeowners Subdivision. My first question is about garbage. When I've been watching the trucks come in from Groot, I noticed it's just one truck coming in and picking up everything. And before, when it was waste management, we had a recycling truck and a garbage truck separate. And it looks like they're putting everything in one dumpster, for lack of a better word, in front of the truck. So my concern as a Long Grove resident is our recycling being recycled? Because I knew that for a fact with waste management. And my second question is either to you or Ms. Stonehouse, if there's been any updates on the special use application on 4359 Illinois 22. Thank you.
Follow up with them to make sure they are separating recycling.
Is that on all routes? Because I know on my route, they're driving 2 trucks every day.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, because it might be a unique case where they may not have enough there to, bring 2 trucks down, but they should be bringing 2 trucks down.
I can assure you they're doing 2 trucks at my house because they come before 7 o'clock. I don't need an alarm clock on Monday mornings, sometimes 6:30, sometimes 6:45. It works great. I wake right up.
So having said that, as a general comment, Swalco, Solid Waste Management Agency of Lake County, they are reporting that some municipalities have indeed stopped picking up recycling because the recycling markets are just not profitable enough to justify the cost of sending the second truck out. Long Grove is not one of those communities, but we have seen it across the country in other communities where they just go, we're not making any money on the recycling, just landfill it all. So that is happening out there because of the price of recycling materials, which is a commodity in trade.
I was certainly seeing one truck.
Yeah, and then no update on 4359.
All right, Ryan, public comment? You'll have to go to the podium. You should. Yeah.
I mean,
Make sure the mic's on. It shuts off after 3 minutes, so don't worry.
Well, I appreciate, I just wanted to give an update from 2025 from the downtown perspective. As a downtown, we had a good fiscal year. You hopefully will have the audit here completely. We are going to be changing audit companies. The company that we've been using is horrendous. So we're changing companies, some recommendations that we've gotten. But as overall downtown, we had a successful year. We've been able to reinvest that back into the downtown through our marketing as well as the capital improvements. As most of you are aware, you should have seen the signage that you come into the downtown now that says, welcome historic downtown. That big black section that you see in the center, that is a magnet that we will be changing throughout the course of the year that will have messaging. The messaging that we'll put through local events. If there's messaging as a town that we want to do as well, we can do a community aspect of that to where, if you want to say happy holidays or things that when we don't have activities, we're open to the village and us partnering to say, let's create that message so we can all use it if there's special things that have to get out there. It is a magnet material, so we can make that rather quickly. We will start putting some messaging on there with Cocoa Crawl coming up as one of our first activities. So that is there for all the monuments that come into town throughout the parking lots as well as the downtown. So we're happy about that. Additionally, on Stemple parking lot, if you haven't gone back there, we have finished the phase 2 portion or almost finished the phase 2 of the park. We will be starting to put in some benches, some parkways, things for folks to start utilizing that to do a walkway. And then we'll complete and put back the bridge to where it should be. It's no longer on the roadside. It's going to be by the creek side or the dry creek side. So if you haven't checked that out, I ask you, please do. It looks phenomenal. It's very, very clean now, and it just gives a better presentation to the parking lot. Some of the goals that we have for 2026, we hope to see another good season where we can redevelop and put those monies back into the downtown. We're going to be looking to possibly add digital kiosks, keeping that historic look to it, but so that people can have a digital kiosk to see what's in town. We've got a lot of activity, a lot of interest in the downtown with different businesses, with restaurants, stores. So just going to let the patrons come in and see what's here. If they want to see what's the restaurants, to be able to see what the menus are, what the activities are. So that's one of our items that we're looking for. And then obviously we're always open to new ideas to help put those monies back in the downtown, just so, again, it portrays Long Grove the way it needs to be portrayed. So that's kind of the overall recap. We're having a successful season, especially as coming off of COVID years ago. We depleted a lot of our funds, so it's been a good year for us as a downtown. Again, we appreciate the partnership that you guys have given us. Thank you.
That's great. No, good. Yeah, go ahead. But before we do that, the park looks awesome, by the way. It really does. It turned out really well. So thank you. Go ahead, Rita. Oh, microphone, please. Yep.
The digital kiosks. Well, what do they look like, and where will they be, and what do I find out if I use them?
So what it's going to be right now, we do everything through paper on a map. It's as far as where the stores are, where the restaurants are, where we may have some of the evening activities are. We'll place them strategically in downtown so that, again, we want to keep that historic nature. So it'll be encased in something to keep that brand of Long Grove, but it's just more of a touch screen that you can go say, I want shopping. What type of shopping? I want clothing. Or if I want boutiques, you'll be able to look for boutiques. I want restaurants. It's going to be more about self-service. We can also then there program it. So here's the activities that are going on this month. We've got a fest, or we've got a witches night out, things that'll tell us the future. We also have the ability to use it so that if our downtown businesses have any kind of activities, we can promote this business has a promotion going on. So we can make it interactive to our businesses in town that participate in the SSA. So it's going to have a variety. We're in the intro stage right now. So right now we've got companies that we're looking at. We're trying to see how to incorporate it into the downtown. I will bring it to you guys as we have more. It's just one of the items that we've got on the agenda to start looking at.
Any thought or discussion about fireplace warming in the wintertime? They have it in St. Charles, where there is along the sidewalk, they have, it's
Like
yeah, it's not literally a fireplace. It's like a really nice looking gas fired. And it might even be real wood in there, but I think it's gas fired where people can warm their hands up.
I have not.
Really?
I sounds great. The liability sounds a little
St. Charles?
tough.
St. Charles.
Insurance, man.
I'll have to look. It is. I look at the insurance. I can look into it.
There's one in Mundaline too. They have one in that little play area too.
Okay.
So-
If we did something, we try to do in the
Yeah.
community spaces where people would like to gather.
Yeah.
It wasn't even an item that of topic. I'll look into it and try to get some more information.
Yeah, it just, for whatever.
Yeah, as trustees, if you guys have ideas of things you'd like to see downtown, please share it. Because as we continue on, our goal is hopefully to have about $100,000 per year that we can reinvest in the downtown. If we can continue to see successful seasons with the activities, that generates enough that we can put it back in the downtown. So ultimately, that is the goal of what we try to achieve with our master plan.
I take it back, it's Geneva, not St. Charles.
Anyone else?
Just thank you for all your work. We appreciate it. And the whole HDLGBA.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Yes. 100,000 back into the downtown every year. All right, so, public safety report. Might be a report. I heard there's a report.
All right. So in the last couple of weeks, there have been some retirements in the sheriff's office, which means in command positions, which means that there's a lot of shifts and movement. Next week, I'll be starting a new position, and I will not be able to be the Long Grove liaison with the sheriff's office anymore. That will be Sergeant Tom Lex, here to introduce him. Tom has worked for the sheriff's office for 20 years. He's been a sergeant for 10 years. He's worked all over the sheriff's office in different capacities. And right now he's going to be going into an administrative role for the patrol division. So he'll be able to work with Long Grove. A little bit easier than it's been for me the last couple of years, but I appreciate the last 4 or 5 years that I've had here, the relationships I've made with everybody. So I appreciate it. I'll still be around.
Where are you going?
I'm being promoted.
Congrats.
Good for you. We'll miss you.
What's your exact title again?
I'll be a deputy chief.
Deputy Chief.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah,
congratulations.
congrats.
We'll miss you.
Tom wants to say anything or introduce? A side note, Tom's son just started working as a deputy for the sheriff's office, and I think he was in Long Grove the last couple of weeks.
He was the other day, yeah.
So
Wow.
watch out which Lex you ask for, because there's 2 of them.
Let him know we have lots of speeders in town.
I'll let him know he needs to write tickets being new. Yes, that's correct. So no, I'm just happy to be here. Whatever you guys need, I'll make sure you have my contact information. That way you guys can get a hold of me. I'll liaison whatever I can for you. I've got a lot of other responsibilities too, but you're the only village that I have as a village, so you'll have direct attention there. So look forward to working with all of you. Just happy to be here. LEX. That's it. Like Lex Luthor, only it's not the first name, it's the last name. Any questions for me?
No, we're happy for you, Keith. Congratulations. And we're looking forward to working with you, Tom Lex. Lex Luthor, you said, I think.
Sure, whichever works.
Yeah. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
And, Bill, if I could, I just like to, I wish we had some accommodation or some recognition, formally recognizing Lieutenant Keith, because he's done a fabulous job working for us,
Well,
working with us.
there's going to be an article going out on that. That's why there was a little picture taken. So, but I just learned this moments before the meeting too, just like you.
But barring that recognition, I'd like to just personally thank you for your service to Long Grove. You've done a phenomenal job for us, and the events we've had in Long Grove that needed police intervention, you've done a great job supporting us and working with us and communicating with us. So thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it.
All right, the bar's set really high. You heard that. All right, congrats. Thank you. All right, so moving on to the consent agenda. Several items on there. Approval of the treasurer's report. And that's from the November 2025. Okay. Is that right?
Yeah, we didn't have the second December meeting, so it's.
Okay, got it. And then approval of the bills for the December pay warrant, right? Minutes from a special workshop we had on December 6th. Seems like a long time ago. I guess it was over a month now. Approval of the minutes, of the executive session minutes from that same day. There was a short executive session during that day. Approval of the minutes from the regular meeting, December 9th. We had a regular board meeting on the 9th. That was our last meeting. And then there is all of the downtown special events that have been mapped out for the next 3 years, all the dates. And all the detailed apps for 2026 are in the board packet along with, all the dates for 2027 and 2028. And then there's a raffle application for the Lake Zurich Lions Club at the Buffalo Creek Brewery. It's the waiver of the license fee to to conduct the raffle. So questions, or does somebody want to make a motion to approve?
What's a real estate thank you sign? It just talked about real estate thank you signs, and I don't know what that means. During the festivals on the form that gets filled in. There's
Also
a,
small chloroplast signs, what she's talking.
What?
And we do it for, when it sponsors the events, you have chloroplast signs that, we're saying they're temporary signs, as far as signage.
what's chloroplast? What does that mean?
It's the state signs, like the signs last round.
Yeah.
We put out, thank you all our sponsors.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's those white.
I
signs.
I
For the
gotcha.
materials, it's plastic.
I got you. Got it. Okay, thank you.
I don't have a flight at 9 AM, so I'd like to request special discussion on item 10, the downtown special events.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion removing that item, or would you like to discuss it before we approve or make any motion?
I'm not sure I need a motion. I could just request it being removed from the consent agenda.
Okay, remove it from the consent agenda. Okay. Do you want to make a motion then to approve the consent agenda minus?
I'd be happy to make a motion to approve the remainder of the consent agenda.
Okay, and then it's seconded by,
Second.
okay, seconded by trustee O'Connor. That would be a roll call.
Okay, trustee Borowski,
Aye.
trustee O'Connor,
Aye.
trustee Gayton,
Aye.
trustee Harris.
Aye.
Trustee Tanucci,
Aye. Okay, motion carried.
and has been approved, subject to removal of item 10.
Yep, you got it. Okay, so, Chris, you want to have a discussion on it? I'll let you lead.
Just a couple of things or questions or comments. I didn't see the health fair listed in that event. I think last year we had this health event that took place with the 20 tables. Is the health fair, whatever the name of that event, is that gone or is that TBD? So should we, okay, I guess.
Special, it was a separate approval for a special event.
Okay, so holistically, if we're trying to put together a list of all the events in town for the year, do we have that? Should we have that?
Don't control any of the business. The other big business is downtown. Technically, we have CDAs.
I understand that, Brian. Thank you for that clarification. I guess my question is more directed at staff then. Should we have a comprehensive list of events so that we're not having downtown plus additional events scheduled every weekend of the year, kind of going towards, congestion and noise and everything else that we may want to consider throughout the year?
Look on the website,
The thing is, we don't,
village website.
We just can't control once. Why for an event.
Oh, but we can message that.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, we can message it to the business owner saying, hey, man, just, March 1st should be the deadline or whatever the date is for any
Special
events,
event for
right?
this year, so-
Submitted by, right? Just something that we can sort of regulate the flow of everything that goes along with that. So that was number one.
well, that's what we have with the special events is how many days they're supposed to do it. Are you asking to be more proactive, to send something out to ask before they want to do it?
I guess I'm just not the ad hoc kind of guy saying, okay, what's going to come in this week? What are we doing now? Like, we set a schedule for events. but we don't in a way, right? We got more coming in that we don't know if they're coming in or not. So I guess I'm just trying to sort of become a little bit more.
Because as of right now, we have it in the special event application so many days. I mean, is it that we want to be more aware, more proactive to say that any events for a season have to be in by a certain date? Like, is that what the board is saying they want, so that we're doing that, say for the year that we want to know by a certain date when events are going to do, so that we don't have that. So that's a change in sort of policy for special events. Is that what?
I'm just one voice. I'm just trying to find a. more
Right, and you can't be heard online, so if you're gonna talk,
So, to that point, so some of the reason you guys get these small applications in, we as a downtown are requesting these businesses to fill out the normal application. We're doing that to make sure that if there's something large enough, we can have our police, fire notified. We know that it's going on as well. The events that we put on are general events where we know it's going to have larger crowds. These smaller ones, it could be very boutique-y. It could be 30 people. It could be 50 people. But as we've had discussion with staff in previous years, if it's outside their normal course of business, we want to know that at least it's going on so that if something were to happen, we know how to notify people. It may be 20 people, but if it's not their normal course of business, I still want the application that at least we can sign off on. We know they have insurance. We know they have the certain items. Then we can give it to staff so that they know it's well. Most of these are going to be so small, it's minute, but it's more of a formality. So we have a check mark on it.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. My real concern is the messaging that we're sending out to the world about who Long Grove is and what we represent. Are we a festival, a weekend kind of town, or what are we? And that really leads me to my second point on the application, which is really my primary point on the application. There's a new event listed called Country Girls Night Out. First of all, I don't really know exactly what that means. When I read the packet, it says Country Girls Night Out. So my mind's drifting all over the place. I don't know how that represents Long Grove. I don't know if country means bib overalls or cowboy hats. I don't know what that means. Is it rural farm girls night out or is it cowgirls night out? And then the second thing I think about is inclusivity. I don't know if Long Grove should be publishing an event that says girls night out, because how about the boys night out? Or what, excuse me a second. Again, I don't know what messaging that is, because, maybe there's men in town who want to dress up as bib overalls or cowboys. I'm not quite sure what we're going for here. And the other thing I think about is if we advertise an event that says 200 cowgirls are coming to Long Grove, I'm not sure what message that is to people either. Is that like, hey, we got attractive cowgirls in town, come and get them? Or what does it actually mean? So to me, I'm really kind of stuck with the name and advertising something that's so non-inclusive. I would love country night out or whatever that definition is, bib overalls or country, because I think guys like to dress up too. So I think there's an inclusivity issue. I think there's a messaging issue when we start drawing those lines so fine to include or exclude certain groups of people. In this case, the protected class of men, right? I think we're drawing that line a little bit too fine. I would love to see this as country night out.
so can Ryan respond to that too, from the HDLG-APA's perspective about what they were thinking?
This is a dedicated night for shopping. It's really it's a ladies' night shopping. We do it with Witches Night Out. Our first Witches Night Out started with 20 individuals. Now it's about 700. It really is designed around a shopping night. Women come out in communities all around us are doing this. We're not doing this based on inclusivity. We're doing this based on marketing research to realize ladies like to go out on a Thursday night and they get together to go shopping and eat. We're trying to attract that business of what's generating income to the businesses in downtown. So this is designed strictly around what it is. And that's why we're trying to do that. Witches Nights Out has been very successful. We did Country Girls Night Out, first one. It was successful and we're going to build on it. we're not making this an all night for everyone. We're truly trying to make this a shopping event for the downtown. So our businesses will generate business through the stores as well as the restaurants.
So the business is open.
They are all open for this event. So it's not, we're not doing activities outside like we would a large fest. It's a shopping event.
Yeah,
Can
but
we- I'm sorry.
I'm not sure that, I understand what you're saying. And I understand the demographics involved. I'm not sure though that you hearing what Chris is saying.
I'm hearing what he's saying. It just,
Insofar as we have people here from all over the world. We don't have anything that celebrates ethnicity, especially in this town. No, that's one. And if you say girls' night out, there are women who would object to that. Professional women or non-professional women, but it's like, and there may be guys that object to that. You know, what? That means I can't come and shop. You know, my husband would never say that, you know, and maybe you'd never say that.
we do have cowboys that show up.
Well,
We do. So it's, yeah.
so what about cowboy cowgirls? What about something that is not
Rita, in the day of marketing, you can't market to everyone at any given time. You have to be branded. You have to create activities. We've never had a complaint saying, why aren't you doing this? And
Well, you do now.
This
You got one.
this is the first time we've had it. These events are very successful. We're trying to bring women out to go shopping. That is the goal that we're trying to accomplish. Women generally shop more than men at the type of stores we have. If we make this an all-inclusive activity, I think we will take away with the goals that we're trying to accomplish as a town, is to have women come out in groups, shop and dine in the downtown. That is the focus for that one night. This is not a 3-day event. It's a 3-hour event.
I think that's all good if you're a private entity and you can market to whoever the hell you damn well please. But as soon as you put the name of the Village of Long Grove on there, we need to be completely inclusive. We can't be exclusive of certain protected classes of people.
Communities do it all the time for these type of
I
shopping
don't care.
events.
I don't live in other communities. I live in Long Grove and I'm on the board. And I think we need to be inclusive of all the people who are part of Long Grove. I just don't think, we can't have boys' night out. We can't have white boys out. We can't have Asian boys out. We just can't start drawing those lines. We need to have country shopping night where everybody's invited to put their cowboy equipment on, bring their horses out if they have them, do whatever they want to do. That's the issue. We're a public body serving a very diverse community, and yet we're saying, you girls can come out, you boys got to stay home tonight. It's not what we are.
it's kind of a 50s stereotype too, you know.
Yeah, can we do one thing? So let's ask some of the other trustees about their opinion of this. Trustee Tanucci, I'm looking right at you right now.
I have no issue with it whatsoever. I think we need to be not so serious.
Okay, Trustee Gayton?
In the sense that when we're talking about marketing, we're trying to, what is the goal here? We're trying to promote and get people out there for the businesses, trying to raise revenue and help the businesses. So that's the ultimate goal. We're not trying to exclude or include this or anything. It's about supporting the businesses, really. So, I'm trying to think of how else are you thinking you're going to support the businesses?
Kind of sexist.
But I think that's your viewpoint, and maybe it's just, I don't know.
Trustee,
I don't see it that way.
Trustee Harris?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it at all. It's a themed outing. It's a shopping event. We'd start talking about PC and all that. I don't see this as offensive at all. And I totally support it.
All right, so let me just, there's two parts to this. One is it's the HDLGBA that's hosting this event. So it's not the Village of Long Grove. It's the Historic Downtown Long Grove Business Association. Now, in order to do an event, the Village of Long Grove has oversight. And that's why you have to go before us to get approval, seek approval for the event and make sure everything is okay. Now, there's some concerns on the naming, using in particular girl. I don't know if it changes anything if you don't use the word girl in your marketing, but I guess I would ask that question. Country night out versus country girls night out. Would that change it?
The shops, the goal of the shops is they're looking to attract the women for a shopping night. If we say country night out, the goal is, again, they clearly have been defined by the downtown, no different than Witches Night Out. It is a women's night to come to the event. It's not, Halloween night, it's Witches Night Out. It's the same elements that we've been doing for 9 years. The shops have worked with this. They love it. This is what they're trying to, and they're investing into. It's not just putting our monies into it. It's the stores that are putting their monies into it as well.
All right. Now, and I don't know if Vic is Vic here on the line somewhere? Vic, do you want to pipe in just really quickly?
I certainly understand how there are potential concerns and sensitivities, but this is ultimately a private event. If we didn't have a permitting scheme and a series of shops wanted to try to jointly market something as a Cowgirls or a Witches or whatever night out, they'd have the absolute ability to do so. We do have permitting requirements, and that's primarily to make sure that we know what's happening and what type of extra care we need to have, such as for sanitary purposes or for police safety purposes, but it doesn't convert it into a village event merely because of our permitting. So I certainly appreciate that it may rankle some people, but ultimately it's not a village event, it's the downtown. So I don't see a legal issue here. It's really a policy issue.
I'll just say, as a Christian, I've never loved the name Witches Night Out. But I also understand this is a marketing event and we're not promoting sorcery. So I try to look at all of it in the same light. That's why I don't have a problem with it.
Well, somebody want to make a motion to approve all the special events, including this one that we just discussed? Okay, moved by trustee Gayton, seconded by
Harris.
Seconded by trustee Harris.
Moved by Harris.
Move.
Second, I'll second.
Oh, okay, I got it backwards. Okay, I'm listening the wrong way. All right, roll call, please.
Oh, who seconded?
Gayton did. I got it backwards. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was hiding back here.
Can't see you.
Trustee Harris,
Aye.
trustee Gayton,
Aye.
trustee Borowski,
I'll abstain.
trustee O'Connor. Nay.
No.
And trustee Tanucci.
Aye.
Okay, so an abstention is a yes. My vote's not required, correct?
Okay, so I'll change my vote to no. Now your vote's required.
Okay, your vote is, you can change your vote? You can amend your vote?
I'll amend my vote to no.
All right, then my vote is aye. Motion carried. No, that's 1, 2,
That's
3,
correct.
and I'm 4.
Yeah, that's a correct tally.
Yep.
That's fine.
No, if he abstains, he's a yes.
Yes, correct.
Goes with the majority. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. All right.
You know why? Perception things.
I'm sorry.
But we can't vote line item by line item. I wish we could, right?
Why don't we take it offline? Take it offline. Let's just keep moving. And we'll go from there, and who knows how the event will go, and that may not happen next year, or it may go really well and happen again. We'll find out. All right, so other business. Consideration proposal from contracted marketing communication services. Our Wisdom marketing, the Jack is retiring. And so we have to do something. And you have a proposal to in-house some of it. And then his partner, Mark DeJanis, will do some of the supplemental work to help us out. I don't know if you want to give more clarity on it, but this would be a proposal for a year. And then basically it's, I guess, I mean, we're not technically locked in even for that period of time if we don't like what we're getting either.
Yeah, I'll give a little more
All right.
background. So as you'll recall, beginning of last year, we hired a communications and office operations specialist, Megan Conway. So we anticipated that Jack would be retiring at some point. We didn't quite know when. And he decided to fully retire at the end of this year. He decided it at the end of the year. So we had an opportunity to rethink the communications platform. Under the new model, Megan and the rest of the staff team here would be responsible for the social media, monthly e-news, the quarterly Bridge newsletter, website updates, content development, and special event coverage. That said, we still need some professional design support to ensure that the look and feel of our materials are professional. We don't have the in-house capacity to do that. So Mark was previously doing that through Wisdom Bridge with Jack. So he's worked with Long Grove for the last couple of years. He knows what we do and how to do it. He's got 20 years of other experience doing similar things. So what we're proposing is that he would be responsible for preparing the final layout for the quarterly print newsletter. We provide the content and materials. He packages it all up for us and gets it to the printer. He would continue doing the uniquely Long Grove business features, which have been very successful. We've received a lot of compliments and praise from the downtown and other businesses in town that have participated in that. And he would do event photography on an as-needed basis. Both Megan and I plan to be at most of the events and can do some of that, but on the chance that we can't be there, he would fill in and be able to take some professional pictures for our marketing purposes. There's also some other tools that were wrapped into Jack's original package, co-schedule to cross-post on different platforms, Canva to help create some of the content, and a Meta verified license to ensure to the public that we are who we say we are. So we were already paying for them. We're just proposing that we keep it, and the village pays for it itself instead of through Wisdom Bridge. Overall, we currently had $60,000 in the budget through Jack. We're proposing this be reduced to about $15,000, so it represents a significant cost savings, and I think it gives the village more control over messaging, faster response times, and stronger relationships with the residents and businesses in town. Any questions?
Chris, you're looking.
Yeah, I'm looking because I have some concerns on this proposal as well. I mean, personally speaking, I don't think our messaging, our social media has been the best it can be. I think some of our writing in some of the publications is not the best it could be as well. Seems kind of stale at times, I guess, or rehashed maybe is a better word. I don't know why we would want to spend $3,500 to have him go to 4 festivals and take some pictures. I think we have more creative ways of being able to obtain great photos from these events by doing things that are more fun, more creative. Resident photo contest, give somebody a couple $100 to submit the top 3 best photos from Strawberry Fest or Apple Fest or something. I think parts of this proposal just don't make very much sense to me. So I wonder if it's time to put this on hold and maybe do a more thorough, detailed analysis of what our messaging, our public relations, and our social media platforms should be, with some very clear goals as to what we want to achieve in terms of hit rates, in terms of views, in terms of all the metrics that, most major, I don't know, I'll use companies for lack of a better word, but most major web users, messengers want to achieve with the general public. I just don't know if we're hitting things on a lot of cylinders right now.
Yeah, the only thing I understand is that literally he just decided to retire. And
Okay.
he posted it on social media. So now we have a situation where we have to do something for the interim.
Well, I agree we have to do something, but I think continuing more of the same is, and maybe in a little different format is giving us the opportunity to really rethink the strategy.
So can I propose a solution to this? Number one is we have to do something, in my opinion, to keep things going. So if I understand correctly, we're not bound for a year, right, with this whole
We're
thing?
just proposing to use the services on an hourly basis for those general.
So
if we-
if
And it can be terminated with a 30-day notice.
So if the direction is to have village staff seek alternative communication companies, we can give them that direction tonight. Everyone can do that. Meanwhile, we can approve this to keep us communicating while we do that.
Can I say something? This isn't like a Band-Aid that was to cover that. I mean, if you read the memo there and what you're talking about, the plan, this is a thought out plan with goals and with those things in mind. And this isn't necessarily the place to hash those out. I mean, we can have a meeting where we talk about what those goals and those things that we've outlined for what we're trying to achieve with that communication plan are. Like, we can do that if you want to do that. And Megan was hired with that in mind, and we've set that out in the memo. She's outlined some of that, and Chris and Megan and I have done that. So that's always been the case, as Chris said, when we hired her, to with that in mind. So that's what this is intent on doing, is taking the communication in-house in order to have a more focused and a more intentional. And as you said, the writing, may have gotten stale. So we want to be more intentional with that. And that's what the plan is and what our goal is. And if there are other ideas to that, we can sit and look at that and do that.
Yeah, I feel we should give Megan a chance
Yeah.
because as you said, this was the plan.
Yeah,
And if you're looking for changes, here's a change.
yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. But this was
As far
not,
As the
Yeah.
photographer, we can always cancel that with 30-day notice.
so this isn't just something to throw out and do that. This was a thought out and intentional plan to do that. But if there are still other ideas or
Yes,
concerns
yeah,
with
can-
that, we can.
Yeah, that's right. Trustee,
you
Ayers,
wanna
you have
explain?
oversight of communications now, right? So,
Yes, I do.
so what are your
Met with
thoughts?
Chris and Dana last week, and my thoughts are this is great. And if we want to enhance it and look for some more robust ideas moving forward, we could always do that. But for now, I think this is a great starting point, plan of attack. And again, Megan's only been here since August, so I agree with Dana. We should give her some time. And Ken.
Trustee Gaten?
Yeah, I would agree with trustee Adam Ramirez. Happened very abruptly. I don't think you want to pull the rug and so I think you need a little bit of runway, at least keep some continuity going. That at least this is someone that's done it and it can work with staff, and then hopefully the in-house staff gets, up to speed quicker, and we'll have a lot more flexibility and a lot more control over doing things, whatever changes we want to see. But I think it's a good start.
Trustee O'Connor?
I agree.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I noted the 30-day notice from one party to the other. And I thought if he gave us 30 days notice, it'd be a fire drill, maybe 45 or 60, just throw it out there for whatever that's worth. But I do want to keep things going. I would hope that we could really take rebranding seriously so that we have a complete picture instead of it feels segmented to me at this point in time, to your point, Ryan. There's the downtown and there are other business owners, and then there's the village. And there are times when we're like this and there are times when we're like this. And I do appreciate the HDL GBA. We'll talk later. But if it could come together, I would like that. And I think people would be less confused with what is HDL GBA. I mean, most of them don't even know what it stands for, right? But they don't understand that there's the downtown and there's the village and there are other businesses in this town. Sunset Foods and that whole quadrant, the Flower Lady and Sorrel and Cutlers, we don't hear from them. It would be nice to hear from them. So let's agree. Let's get the goals together and put it all together so it's not so.
So as I'm hearing, basically, I'm kind of hearing a yes from you, but also making sure that, and maybe this goes to village staff, that to work through what those priorities and goals are, and looking also at the overall village and communication and an aspect of marketing. But I don't know that Chris, does that address your concern or no?
Yes, I think that does. I do have kind of a rebuttal question. A couple trustees said this, and even maybe you did, this happened abruptly. How the hell does it happen abruptly is my question to us. Like, how do we not vet vendors to make sure there's a good, solid continuity plan in place should one person get hit by a bus or retire? Like, how does that happen abruptly? How do we
do have a plan in place, Megan.
Okay, yes and no. Here we are, we're signing a contract for yet another guy, right? Like, how does that happen?
He's the same.
He's the same guy. He's one of the partners in the company. So,
Well, I get that, but he's still the other guy, right?
Yeah.
So what is the continuity plan? How do we get into these situations where it happens abruptly?
I think what I'm
that's
hearing is
for us.
we knew his retirement was coming. He just sort of abruptly said, okay, as of now, I'm retired, as opposed to some point in the near future.
Well, you don't,
But we knew it was coming, which is why we set up this.
And it
Megan.
started and he originally was backing off certain components of it. And then we decided we didn't want to have mixed voices
Okay.
in the middle of it.
Understand.
So
Thank you.
We're trying to work through a plan to keep him if we could, but ultimately it wasn't the capacity that he wanted to do.
I actually have a request. Now that we're doing this in-house, assuming we agree to do that, can we refrain from using staff resources to promote outside taxing bodies and organizations outside of Long Grove? I'm thinking of the libraries first and foremost. Gila and Vernon, two organizations that collect enormous amounts of property tax dollars. I don't think we have to spend our meager resources to promote their events. That's the
Well-
main thing I'm thinking of.
can I counteract that? I mean, Swalco is a great partner, and if they're having an event on our
That's okay.
orders, we should
I don't have a
probably
problem with
give
that.
them a post or acknowledgement.
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
know? Or friend.
Maybe I should be more specific. Let's not promote the libraries. Those are the ones I have the problem with. Nothing against the libraries, but they got plenty of our money and they can do their own promote.
there's a whole, we all have philosophical things here, right? So I know Ryan's got a comment. I just want to make a comment. Some of my thought on some of these things are, I would like to communicate some of the basic things that everyone needs to know, right? And we lose sight of that. So I hope that comes back. Ryan, if you're going to say something, you have to go to the podium. Right there. You cannot not
Here, maybe you should put it.
No, he's got to go up there.
While you guys are in an interim, if you guys need any digital or marketing that needs from the downtown, we can use our marketing team and work with your staff to give you any kind of current pictures. We don't charge for that. We have it. If you guys need it, we'll work together as a team.
Thank you for that. All right, so, I mean, does somebody want to make a motion to approve? I think that there's further discussion. Moved by trustee O'Connor, seconded by trustee Tanucci. Roll call.
Trustee O'Connor.
Aye.
Trustee Tanucci.
Aye.
Trustee Borowski.
Aye.
Trustee Gayton.
Aye.
Trustee Harris.
Hey.
Motion carried.
I think too, it would be nice publicly to say thanks to Jack McCall. He's obviously not here, but he worked hard and he brought us great stuff and wisdom. He was always very kind when I called him, so publicly, thanks to Jack.
Yep, Jack did a great job. We wish him well in his retirement.
We wish him well, and then I suppose that might be even a little blurb in one of our communications. We could publicly recognize him, right? There you go. Not that you were thinking of that article, but good point. So good luck in retirement if you're listening, Jack. So don't know what you're gonna do every day. Still work in our village, we'd be okay with that.
On our website, just, would it, I throw out a quick suggestion to have like an entertainment section on our website where there's video from the festivals, from nights out and so on. Why not?
A lot of people that come to us.
Yeah,
And we'd send it back.
why not?
You know, I think it was there built originally.
You can add it back. You'll be considering website overhauls soon, so.
That's what made me think of it, because I know, I think Megan took that over as well, or, yeah, so.
All right, motion carried. Good discussion. But we have a few other items on the agenda. One is consideration of the landscaping and maintenance agreement between the Village of Long Grove and New Perspective. And then consideration and release of a surety bond. So New Perspective turned over. The old owner didn't do all the landscaping, dead trees and things like that they were supposed to. The old owner has a bond in place, right, that they want to be released. So I think the village staff figured out a way to basically enter into an agreement to get that landscaping work done. And then as part of that, a new bond would be issued with the new organization. Did I get that right?
Yes, we would not release the old bond until we were guaranteed we had a new bond or mechanism in place to enforce the landscaping restrictions under the PUD. Or requirements under the PUD. So this item 13 and 14, release the old and add the new.
Hey, I probably know where you're headed because I had the same thought, but
Well, you can go first.
no. I mean, I literally, just go ahead to share your concerns because I mean,
Two concerns.
yeah.
Maybe two concerns. One is that left turn coming out of there. We still haven't fixed that and it's still a hazard, right? People taking that left turn and violating the crosshatches on Old 53 there, right? I mean, we got to fix that somehow. So that's kind of a separate issue. Out of it. People taking the left turn onto Old 53 coming out of the facility
Right.
when it's right turn only. That continues
Do
to
it all the
happen
time.
all the time,
All the
right?
time.
Right. But as I look at the arborist recommendations, the 3 bur and swamp oak trees along the path have been, need to be replaced or whatever. Is there a more comprehensive or better thing we can ask than just simply replacing the trees that were on that original plan? I mean, what if I don't know what you guys talked about. I don't know the consideration, but as I read the punch list, it's literally a punch list. Take out the red oak. Okay, or whatever, right? Like, have we talked to them and said, can we do something better? If we took that same amount of money that was more reasonable, realistic, comprehensive, cohesive, maybe even in a different place?
That would be more of a policy question. We're
Right.
just here to enforce the ordinance
Right.
that's passed. So that's why it's more of a punch list.
So I get that. Does our forester have a better idea? Does somebody have a better idea? Anybody like Jeff or Forrester, anybody go, maybe we take this X number of dollars and have them, I don't know, put in some oaks at the park. I don't know, whatever. But just as I look at this punch list, you go, man, do we really need to replace that Cornelian cherry that was never replaced? I don't even know what that means, right? And how beneficial it is. Anyway, that was my concern. I don't know if there's an answer, but I just thought maybe somebody would have a dialogue or just think through it so that we have a little bit more, I don't know. Maybe there's some better benefit we can get out of this negotiation.
Oh, can I say it another way? I mean, this has been going on forever.
Mhm.
And it's never been addressed. So can we just put an end to it?
Well,
Yeah.
my understanding was the original landscaping plan was based on the needs and desires of the neighbors there, that it was designed around what they wanted as it was coming in, you know, so the specifics had to do with that, you know, so they're really stuck to this plan that is outdated. So I don't know, you know, if we have to stick to that or not, or if the board decides to say, hey, can the board can give the directive to Chris to say, hey, you can be flexible with the plan, just hold them to something. You know, that's your prerogative.
I mean, I don't, I'll ask the other board members, what would you like to do here? Trustee Harris or Trustee Gayton, whoever wants to go first.
Well, if I'm understanding this, I mean, we already have the agreement with the first owner and they didn't fulfill what we
Right.
had it, and that's what we're trying to do. So
Right.
it's almost two issues, really. And you almost gotta hold them to, we gotta finish what they agreed to. And then if you want to hold the new owner that to a different spectrum, something like that, for them to have something, then you can change it. But I think I don't know if it's fair for the new owner to say, hey, we want to change the plan, forget about the original plan, because that's the one that they agreed to.
And to be clear, the new owners had no idea about this until, 2 years ago when I came in and told them, yeah.
The landscaping plan is part of it. So they inherited it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Vic, if I can just offer a thought on this. This is, the only reason why this is coming before you is because of a wooden approach of travelers on how they issue their bonds. We have an ordinance, this is an enforcement of an ordinance issue. I think one thing we can do, in light of some of the comments, is that before we sign this agreement and swap out the bond, we can have a conversation with New Perspectives and see if there's an interest in reimagining what they have out there. But my guess is that their interest would be capped to that $25,000. If they are, then that's something that can certainly be brought forth. I would still think it's worthwhile to get this agreement in place so we can get the bond. But nothing would preclude us from saying, hey, before you get started, let's have a talk and maybe we do some things differently. So I don't think there's anything outside of the possibility of doing that. But the only thing that we have a clear right to do is to enforce the plan that was in the original ordinance. And that's what this is pursuing for tonight.
Trustee Harris, did you have a comment?
That makes sense to me, what Vic just said.
All right, Trustee O'Connor.
I am wholeheartedly in favor of renew the bond issue, get that taken care of.
Okay.
For those who are newer to the village, that development it was kind of a cluster, if you'll pardon the expression. They weren't gonna take trees out, and all of a sudden, they clear cut like 3 acres of oak trees. Okay, and we have an ordinance in this town about trees you can cut down. This is the third owner. Nobody has taken this thing seriously. It's been since you were on the board.
Right.
It's like nobody has held their
Apparently
foot to the fire.
Apparently I was responsible for it too. Somebody told me that, but I had nothing to do with it.
And I wonder if $25,000 is even close to being enough to replant what was not taken care of when it was put in. Plus their sign they put up, they did that without going through any permitting. It's the only red, white, and blue sign we have in the village. Great, whatever. But the part that bothers me is they have to make good on it for 5 years. Well, what happens in year 6? What happens thereafter? We just clear cut again, or we just let the things go to pot. So
Well, the ordinance does have, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the ordinance does have ongoing maintenance requirements,
Yes,
but that's different than the secured activities, which is what this bond is about. The board had
Yes.
reduced the bond to $25,000. What,
Yes.
what was it, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, something like
Long
that?
time ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
9
so,
to-
so that's all we are, and this is a matter
I
of
know.
a guy who was a contractor for 2 owners ago, who happened to put it up on behalf of the owner and has been kind of left holding the bag. So we're trying to maintain the security.
Sure.
We are trying to at least get enforcement as to the items identified in the punch list. But as discussed before, we can get this agreement and then have the conversation. As far as the long-term maintenance, if they then fail again to keep things up, that's then an enforcement action that we can decide how to approach at that time.
Yeah, and that's the part where we need to do a better job, I think.
Trustee Tanucci, any comments?
Other than I'm supporting the ordinances in items 13 and 14 of the agenda.
You want to approve them?
They were doing these separately though, right?
Can we do them together, Vic?
Yeah, they can be done. I mean, they work together, and you'll see in the second one, the 14, that doesn't take effect unless we get the replacement bond, which we won't get without the first one.
Do you want to
So
make a
they
motion?
can be done together.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution in agenda item 13, resolution 2026 R03, and the resolution in agenda item 14, which is resolution 2026 R04.
Okay, so that was moved by trustee Tanucci, seconded by trustee Harris. Seconded by trustee Harris. Roll call.
Trustee Tanucci,
Aye.
trustee Harris,
Aye.
trustee Borowski,
Aye.
trustee Gayton,
Aye.
trustee O'Connor.
Motion carried, but you will have a conversation as suggested too.
Yeah, we
Okay.
already have a maintenance plan for them with goals.
But even just,
And we'll talk about alternative.
okay, if anything makes sense.
So
Okay.
13 and 14 satisfies that whole bond situation. But we're talking about having a conversation with them going forward in terms of whether they have any other potential plans.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is there's 2 items here. One is consideration of an ordinance amending the village code. This is regarding setbacks in the subdivision known as the Towners subdivision. Do we want to have,
I can do this one, Karen.
you want to do this one? Yeah.
So the board discussed this a few months ago now. This was involving the Towner subdivision and their uniquely shaped lots being very narrow, which causes some building issues. So the original annexation agreement called for 13-foot side and rear yard setback requirements. But when that annexation agreement expired, they defaulted to our zoning code, which is 40 feet. And given how narrow the lots are, you can't build anything with that really. So the plan commission reviewed this in its December meeting and recommended approval to the village board for this. So if there's any other specific questions, Karen or I can answer them.
You're looking, so do you have a question?
I do.
I think I do. So again, I think in the narrative, it said the lots are relatively narrow, relatively long. I think you said like 130 feet average-ish. 40-foot setbacks leaves a building pad of 130 minus 80, which is like 50 feet or something, right? So it's pretty narrow, but they're quite long. I have a concern with the 15 feet on each side of a home. I think when developers realize that they've got a Long Grove address with Stevenson Schools, I think they're going to take a look at that community and see if they could do the same thing that happened down at other communities like Hinsdale or Clarendon Hills, where you got big, wide mega mansion overshadowing tiny little house. And I think that does a couple of things. It creates a big disparity in housing. It also creates the potential to have tax changes within that community. So I've been thinking a lot about this going, I get the problem, right? You only have 50 feet to build a new house on within that window. But if you go to 15-foot setbacks, you run the risk of running mega mansion next to mega mansion with no space between the homes for any wildlife or any long growth space. So have we thought about other creative things like maybe allowing the residents on the lot to have a 15-foot setback on one side? And if they choose that, they're required to have the 40-foot setback on the other side? Because if you have like a 130-foot home and you take off 50 feet, now you have 80 or 85 feet of buildable road frontage, which will allow you to kind of shift your home to where it best fits on your lot, and then not necessarily overshadow the little guy next to you that maybe doesn't want to have a mansion literally shadowing their home. I wonder if there's some creativity we could put into how we structure those setbacks, because 50 feet's too much. In my opinion, 15 on each side uniformly is way too little. I think there ought to be like some flexibility lot to lot. And I think we have a way to maybe mitigate the potential for a developer to come in there and go, hey, mega mansions in Long Grove, because now we've got 100 feet of buildable and we got a great backyard in the backyard. Something like maybe Prospect Heights would be like, or like the Clarendon and Hinsdale examples I cited earlier. So that was just kind of my random thoughts on that subject.
I don't know if it directly answers your question, but most of the houses that were built there were with the 13-foot original setbacks. So now if they want to remodel, or in the next case, build a new garage, it would have to be 40 feet, which is usually halfway into their house. So that's where the problem came from. And we had a lot of applicants that want to do some improvements like that. So we were trying to make a holistic change in the
Well, and
neighborhood.
so when did there was a period of time that the old zoning would be grandfathered in, but it expired, right? Is that correct?
The annexation agreement expired.
And that was,
Which was the,
and how long was that? Just,
I think that was 20 years, Karen?
15, I think 15 years.
1986. I think it was 2008, I believe.
got it. So it's kind of a hardship thing that all the homeowners here, if they want to make any modification to their home, they've got to go spend a lot of money to go before the plan commission. And so the thought process was to try to bring back the grandfathering, if you will, for them, because they're in a unique situation. So the question is, the objection you raised was the bulk house situation. And so I'll look to Vic or Karen. Does our code discuss those kinds of things where somebody wanted to put a huge mansion on one of those parcels? Would they be allowed to do that?
Yeah, they probably could. Again, the history, which was detailed in the materials, explains why we have presented this to the board. And it's not different from what we already have in the code for, I think it's Country Club Estates. Yeah. But the concern might be addressed in one of two ways. It's not uncommon to say the minimum setback is 13 feet, but we can say, but the combined side yard setback has to be at least X feet, which would be presumably more than 26. So that would be one way of approaching it. I think that's kind of the approach that Chris was talking about. Another thing that we could do is to have a companion regulation that says, and if you do go 13 and 13, then your FAR shrinks. So you're not going to be able to go, full width of the property and just put up the largest possible home allowed. So those are alternative approaches to do it. I don't know that we've seen that pattern in towners, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't start. I think the concern about that has some real merit.
Chris, your thoughts?
No, that's why I bring the idea up. I do have that concern about building 13 to 13. And then you've got the big bulk and those backyards are nice and big and deep and you go, man, that's desirable, right? So why would you not build, if you're going to flip a home or tear one down and build a new home, why wouldn't you do that? And then we run into the probability of Clarendon Hills again, where you got right next to this, right? Anyway, I'd be all for something like that kind of creativity. I don't know anything because, I'm just an outsider. I don't live there. I drive through, I see the lots. I go, man, I'd hate to see this thing turn into that kind of disparity.
So your concern is residents that are there right now, that somebody might try to build something really big next to them, and they may not appreciate having this huge structure next to them. They want to keep their house the way it is, right?
Exactly right. The tax base changes too, right? Based on the comps in the area, right? Your dollars per square footage goes up, right?
Right.
So anyway, my point to bring that up is I think there's a creative way that maybe a creative way that we can address the concerns of the residents who want to build rail to rail, if you will, but also kind of preserve the look, feel of what we want that neighborhood to look like. The whole village wants that neighborhood to look like in the future. I mean, a PUD comes in here, we nitpick the heck out of everything, right? We want to make sure they're beautiful homes and things like that. But here's this opportunity to give some flexibility to the people who live there, but yet not kind of throw it up in the air and let a developer come in and, black rock the thing with big tract homes that are, jumbo homes.
There- there
Yeah. Go ahead.
There could be a way to take into account the building height. Most of what we have seen from people that have sought a smaller side yard setback, it was always for a garage or an accessory building. So, we could Vic could talk about this too, but there's, I think what you don't want to see is a new principal structure looming, if you will, over the property next door. So there could be a way to build in a height limit there.
Aaron, thanks for that. Chris, again, it's not just height though. I mean, if I'm an old timer, which I am, and I want to build a 5,000 square foot rambling ranch, I could go rail to rail and it's, it just basically take up the entire space. And if the neighbor does the same thing, there's no space between those homes anymore. So why would we as a, kind of I don't want to say regulating body, but why would we as a village want that to go rail to rail, setback to setback?
I don't know if that's possible with
But
septic fields.
the way to do that is with the floor area ratio that Vic talked about.
Okay.
In other words, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right, floor area ratio. That if you do the 13 feet, the FAR, floor area ratio, cannot be any more than X. So that limits maybe not the height necessarily, like those are 8-foot ceilings in that subdivision, because and now it's minimum 9 feet or 10 or whatever. But the floor area ratio limits the size. And there are neighborhoods in Chicago where people that have 50-foot wide lots think they died and went to heaven. And they end up with no backyard, but they got $2-3 million houses on those lots, So.
Well, that's the reason I bring up the question. I think that we have got a lot of creative people in-house and also as our, our resources, maybe, and also reaching out to the residents and saying, hey, what do you think? I mean, 15 right now scares me, but I think we have creative people to find a solution.
If this is a concern, maybe we should just continue this item. We should, because it's part of a public hearing process, continue it to either the next meeting or the first meeting in February. And in the meantime, there can be some further thought as to what might be modified in the draft ordinance and brought back to the board. And we can do that without affecting the next item on the agenda.
The intent was to match the original rules that governed the neighborhood when it was constructed back in the day.
Oh, yeah, but back in the day, they weren't building 5,000 square foot little ranches,
I
right?
mean,
Yeah,
I don't know,
fair
is it
comment.
even practical, Vic, though, because there's septic fields and everything, and all these homes to even, would they even be able to do that, right? So,
Well, I think those are some of the
Agreed.
things that probably need some further thought. Maybe the best thing would be to put this to the first meeting in February. And those are some of the issues that we can give some consideration to, because things like the septic fields, things like some of the drainage patterns will have other constraints on development. But I don't know that we can make any kind of determination here tonight. I think that that's something that we should probably spare everyone's time and come back with some more thorough thinking about it.
everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, all right.
Vic, is there a reason that this would apply to the entire subdivision versus just this one household? As I
Well, the
understand it, the
reason
way
is
it's
that
written.
we've actually had a number of inquiries similar to the 7009, which is next on the agenda. And in the past, and I guess since the annexation agreement expired, where the annexation agreement standards were nevertheless applied. So those were frankly done in error. But we've had other instances of variations, and just the I don't want to say likelihood, but the very real possibility that we're going to have a continuing series of variation requests like that suggests that maybe.
You cut out a lot, Vic, so you may have to,
I have no idea. what he's-
yeah, we have no idea. It was kind of came across as gibberish with audio. Can you try again?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Kind of, but yes, keep going. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. We've seen an historical number of variations in this subdivision, which is why we're looking at this subdivision wide. We can continue on as we have, keep doing one-off variation requests, but that's an expense to residents and a time obligation on behalf of the board and the plan commission. So that's, I think, why this was originally presented as a proposed approach handling it.
All right, I think we got most of that. We're going to continue it. It's not something that we refer back to the plan commission. This stays with us. We continue it, and village staff is going to come back to us with some. Continue it to the February 10th. Do we need a motion for Vic to continue it to February 10th, or just? That's what we're doing.
Yes, we should have a formal motion. It's a voice vote.
Okay, so who wants the motion to move it to?
I'll make that motion.
Moved by trustee Borowski, seconded by trustee O'Connor. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Okay. On the next item is granting a variation, and I would like village staff, if it's Karen or Chris, to take the lead on this one.
Karen, you want to give it a shot?
Sure. Hi, everybody. So this is one of those long, narrow lots in Towner subdivision. And just briefly, the subdivision was platted around 1952. A lot of the homes were built in the late 50s, early 60s, and it was annexed to the village in 1986. 7009 Meadow Lane Road is the property. It's about a 1 acre property, and they're seeking two variations. Right now there's a single family house on the lot and a 750 square foot garage. The owner wants to demolish the existing garage and build a new, larger garage, 1,800 square foot, 60 by 30 garage, and that would basically overlap the site of the current garage. It's near the east side of the property. And as you know, the setback is for the east side and both sides is 40 feet at this moment. So he is seeking to reduce the setback from a current 9.8 feet to 8 feet on the east side only. The other variation is for concerns the minimum separation distance between the house and the accessory building, their garage. It's currently 18 feet. The requirement in the code is 20 feet. And he would like to they have that varied to 9.22 feet. The Plan Commission reviewed this thoroughly on December 16th. And they recommended approval with some conditions. And I'll just hit on the special conditions that apply just to this property. In addition to like no authorization of work and the usual ones. One of them, they asked for documentation that the proposed garage square footage is indeed less than the square footage of the house. It's a requirement of the code that an accessory structure cannot be larger than the principal structure. Number 2 was that they wanted the owner to submit elevation drawings showing that the design and materials of the new garage would be compatible with those of the existing house. Number 3 was they wanted him to submit a drainage plan that would ensure that the runoff from the new garage would be contained on the subject property. Number 4 was they sought a letter from the adjacent property owner to the east, indicating whether he is supportive of the variation. And finally, the commission asked for letters indicating that the owner would remove, there's also 2 small sheds on the property. They wanted him to remove the larger of the 2 sheds within 6 months of approval, So with that, they recommended approval and passed it along to you.
Questions from the board?
What's the square footage on the house? Do we
The
know?
square footage of the house is he he originally said 2257. Yeah, it's approximately 2257.
The garage is,
For both floors, for both floors.
right, but the garage is 2,100 square feet, right?
He
So,
has to verify the square footage of the home and then he has to build
right.
smaller than that.
He, since the plan commission meeting, he followed up and he changed his proposal for the garage from a 2,100 square foot to an 1,800 square foot garage. So going from 70 by 30 to 60 by 30.
That's like that would be like three-car garages, 3 or 4. I mean, that's a huge garage, is it not?
He wants to store several cars, a truck, a boat, kids' toys, and yard equipment in there. So, but it's not a small garage. However, it would be oriented such that, look from the front, it doesn't look much bigger than a normal two or three car garage. So, yeah.
I understand that the homeowner has, and I believe they're present here tonight, right? Are you? No?
I think I saw him online. Yeah.
Okay.
Connor, you're muted if you want to speak.
Okay. Are you neighbors? Is that what you said?
He's the property owner.
Oh,
Connor online.
Connor, the line's a property owner. Okay, but there's somebody else in the room and I was just asking if they're across, you're across the street or? Oh, I see. You're going to have the same issues. So you're listening. I was just trying to understand who was in the room and, okay, now I understand. But as I understand it, there was equipment and so forth in the yard and there needed a place to store it. And so part of this was a solution to clean up the yard was, hey, I'll build a bigger garage so that I have a place to put.
Do you want me to make the owner a presenter so they can speak? Do you want me to make the property owner a presenter?
Yeah, let's, if the property owner could speak, is it, what's it, your name? I'm sorry.
Mr. Larkin, yeah.
Mr. Larkin.
We'll promote you, Connor, and you can unmute and share your screen if you'd like, or your camera if you'd like.
Okay, Mr. Larkin, you can unmute.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes. Thank you. We can't hear you. Go ahead. If you, wanted you to just share the, why you're doing this and
Yeah.
give us some color.
Yeah. So I bought the house about 2 years ago. I've been slowly, updating it, making it better. The landscaping, the paint of the house. The garage, unfortunately, is pretty original. It's kind of decrepit. I have stuff in there now, but I'd like to obviously rebuild to keep up with the look of the house that I'm trying to go for, just to increase the aesthetics of it, as well as be able to fit some of my vehicles in there. Right now, my truck cannot fit in the garage. I'm sure most of you are aware, if a garage was built in the 60s, it does not fit a standard truck. It's too shallow. It says it's a 2-car. There's no way you're fitting 2 cars in that. And again, like Kara mentioned, just trying to have a place to store my stuff, have it organized. That way it's not out in the yard. I got a boat that I had to keep in the driveway for a while. I'd like to put that in there. So it's, it just looks better. And then also to Karen's point, the idea of the garage is to match the existing aesthetics of the current house. It's not online, but the house has been painted white with black trim. That'll match the garage as well. So it'll be uniform. But the idea of it, as I mentioned, is just to have a place to have storage for all the things that I could possibly need, and keep things organized and clean and, have the yard look good and the property look good.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Bring it back to the board. You're looking at me.
A light screen. I can talk.
Go for it.
Just a couple of questions to Karen, maybe. In the narrative, it says the peak or the height is 15 feet. Is that the roof peak or is that the sidewall?
That is the midpoint between the peak of the roof and sort of the base of the roof.
Okay,
That's how we
understood.
measure it. Yeah.
Okay, so peak's probably going to be a couple of feet higher than that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so have the other conditions been met that the plan commission requested? The elevation compatible with the existing structure in terms of architecturally compatible?
We're looking at those now. We just got them a couple of days ago, and I feel like the elevations look good. The drainage plan is very simple. It consists of a 20 by 6, 4-foot deep trench with a geotech fabric and stone. I would have maybe Jeff Perry take a quick look at that. We don't have a letter from the neighbor yet, as far as I've received. But yeah, the architectural elevations we just got, I think yesterday. Those look good.
So Karen, towards the architectural drawing, what does that entail? We're not just talking about painting a steel building white and black, are we?
No, I wish I could share or forward them, but I don't know if am able to do that right now. So
Do you have it on your screen right now? Do you have a picture of it on your screen? Are you looking at it electronically, Karen?
Yeah, it's opening up right now.
Dana, can she share? Can you provide her sharing privileges?
She should be able to.
Oh,
I mean, a picture's worth 1,000 words,
right. All right, let me see if I can do this.
and I don't have 1,000 to articulate it right now.
Um, okay. Share. Share content? No. Talk me through it, Dana. Share.
Nope,
I see
not those pictures, please.
I see, I see share. I guess, I guess. it's share.
Share your screen that has it on there.
Okay, I think this is it. Yeah. I got it. It's thinking. Ta-da. So, yeah, first trustee Borowski's question, the peak height of the garage roof would be 18. So you see this. We asked for these drawings to scale. They weren't originally to scale. It's not terribly detailed, but the house is kind of, I believe both of them would have a horizontal siding with the same size lap.
Correct,
size.
and same direction as well, correct.
And the same color.
And same color, correct.
And then all the trim and the doors would be black.
That's correct as well.
Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Other questions? No? Going this way? No questions?
We have the exact square footage.
They have to, he has to submit it to us.
Square footage of,
Of the garage, what's the exact square footage of the house and the garage, right? Yeah.
yeah, the house is, with both floors, 2257. And the garage would be 1800.
Per our code, you can do that,
Yes.
right? And it's just the variance, on the property line is what would be asked here
Variance of the property line and between the two structures.
between the two structures. Okay.
So last question from Chris. So Karen or Jeff, reviewing that parcel, is there no other place this garage can be reasonably located?
Well,
Without too much hardship?
yeah. And he would kind of still run into the side yard setback issue, considering that it's 40 feet right now. So it would have to be, I don't know if you can see what I'm sharing right now.
Yeah, but, well, it's kind of hard to see, but my question is, okay, if it can't be 40, can it be 20 and be reasonably located or some compromised position? Have you guys evaluated that?
The plan commission wasn't too concerned about that. I think that the idea was he wants to reuse, the existing driveway approach. And have, the service door from the garage be located, near the entrance to the house. There are other places on the lot that it could potentially go. Is there a septic field back there, Connor?
Yes, there is. So the only place that could really go is to slide back, which I think would increase the cost quite a bit because you'd have to rerun the driveway. And then on the other side of the house, the main water line comes in there. So realistically, the easiest place to place this is the existing garage location.
Address your question, Chris?
Well, I guess maybe a Vic question, then I'll really be quiet. So in the case of a variation request, it's to mitigate a hardship. Is there a hardship in this case? If there is a pad beside adding more money to the project. Is there a hardship in terms of not being able to locate this in a more, I don't know, compromised location? That doesn't encroach on that side setback as much, even if it's not 40 feet?
Okay, so the hardship, it doesn't have to be that he can't, it's not the old, can I have a reasonable return and, and usage of the property? It's not that type of finding. The finding that the commission made is that the variation is the least amount of variation needed to allow for the construction of the proposed structure.
And if I can jump in, Karen,
Yeah.
one of the other points that the Plan Commission looked at is you're working with a series or a set of existing conditions, and those conditions themselves present a hardship for adding on with this garage. The garage could be placed somewhere else, but given the existing conditions on the property, it's a hardship to locate it somewhere else. If there were a big tree, that would be a hardship. Here, it's the existing condition of the improvements.
And they also looked at the degree of nonconformity, which is not much different than what currently exists. The side yard setback would go from 9.8 feet to 8. And then the house garage separation distance, that's a little more significant. That would go from 18 to 9.22.
Okay, thank you. And I lied. I've got one more question. So, the Plan Commission conditions are relatively reasonable, except the supportive neighbor. I guess I don't know what to do with that. So Vic, how do we script the motion? I don't know if we want to wait for a supportive neighbor or not. I'm thinking we don't. But what should we do with the supportive neighbor condition? Should we leave it in, leave it out, or?
The ordinance includes the conditions that the PCZBA put on there, so they would not get a permit until all those conditions are met.
So what happens if the
Including the
neighbor goes,
neighbor.
I don't want no stinking barn in my backyard? Like, what do we do?
Oh, I should mention that is the one condition that the PCZBA made that does not appear in the ordinance. And that's because under Illinois law, a decision can't be delegated to a neighbor. And that was the effect, as we saw it, of that condition. So we did not make that a mandatory provision within the variation ordinance.
Okay, very good. So to make a motion then to approve this, do we need to add any of these conditions, or are they already
All of
included
them are
in?
in the ordinance, save the one I just mentioned about the neighbor.
Okay, and before, just one last comment too. So as I understand correctly, there was a sign on the property announcing the public hearing, right? So the neighbors saw it. Also, there was the other public hearing that we just discussed prior. So they all know something's on. I will just ask the question. It's Mr. Larkin. Are you aware of any concerns that your neighbor has raised to you regarding your proposed structure?
No, I've had a couple neighbors that saw the sign, come by and just say, hey, what are you doing? And everybody, thought it was cool, to be honest. Nobody has posed any concerns or any, not even really any comments about it, to be honest.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yep, no problem.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Okay, moved by trustee Harris, seconded by trustee Gayton. That's a roll call. Oh, and it's as the resolution is written, that has all the items here that we've been discussing.
Okay, so the resolution incorporates all of the requirements from the planning commission.
Yep.
All right, trustee Harris.
Aye.
Trustee Gayton.
Aye.
Trustee Borowski.
Aye.
Trustee O'Connor.
Aye, subject to those conditions, yeah.
Trustee Tanucci.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good luck. Moving right along. The village engineers report.
All right, so the village engineers report is in the board packet. I'll highlight a few things tonight. In the interest of time, I probably will be a little bit brief. First off, the village hall expansion moving along quite nicely. Everybody has found their new space in the new remodeled existing space, so it's looking good over there. I know they have some cleanup to do, so maybe a week or two away from the grand tour, but it's coming along nicely. The 2026 road program, just an update after the board workshop, the preparatory work to undergo that road program of resurfacing Checker Road.
Can I stop really quick? Hey, Karen, you're sharing your screen. Can you stop sharing? I'm sorry, yeah. Thank you.
Nope.
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No problem at all.
Trying to do it just without interrupting you, but it wasn't working, so.
No problem. Let's see, where was I? The 2026 road program, preparatory work, ongoing to resurface Checker Road, Tall Oaks and Hampton this year. Jumping down, number 12, this is the Illinois Route 22 widening project. As you may have noticed, a lot of trees have been cleared, mostly in the village of Killdeer. It certainly has gotten their attention. And they're moving into Long Grove. The village has not yet released the scenic corridor easement rights to IDOT. IDOT is wanting to push back and say, hey, why don't you release those? And we're between myself, Attorney Filippini, and Manager Sparkman, we're standing firm that we need that IGA. So they seem to think that just because they agreed to plant some trees that that'll get the village to release the scenic corridor rights. But as the three staff members have talked about, that it's great to plant trees, but we need that in writing. So we're trying to organize a call with IDOT, we meaning myself and Manager Sparkman, to further enhance and underscore that point. And hopefully that'll happen later this week. Let's see. Just jumping down, number 18, this is CL. Just as a quick update, Manager Sparkman and I had a call with the former owner, Harbor Chase, who's still in the mix of this thing, even though CL is running it now, just to kind of put this back on track for their landscaping part. Unfortunately, a lot of similarities between the two retirement communities that were built 10-ish years ago. We're still working with both of them, unfortunately. And long story short, Harbor Chase is committed to doing what they need to do. We said, yes, that's great. We, meaning myself and Manager Sparkman, yes, that's great. But we said, yes, we need a plan, an action plan, what you guys are going to do by the end of the month. Underscored the point that this has also gone on way too long. So hopefully I've got good news at the next board meeting, but it is in process. And just the last thing, number 20, Quick Trip, they're moving along with their final plans, just to kind of keep the board updated on that. We did a review of the engineering plans. There's a number of things that they need to work through, including getting their IDOT approvals and permit. We did that, got their review done by the end of the year, and hopefully we'll be seeing some updates and some more information soon. So stay tuned on that one. So with that, if there's any questions, I'm happy to take those.
Questions? All right, you paused. Go
Just a
ahead.
quick one. When Checker gets fixed, repaired, are the bumps going to be permanent speed bumps?
Yes, we're looking into
Getting a
options
quote
and
for our
also
workshop.
designing the permanent speed tables at the locations that there were. They'll be broke out in such a manner that, even after the
bids are received, the village will have the option to pursue installing those or not.
Yeah, we discussed that in the workshop. That was, yeah, got it. Okay, cool. All right, thank you for your report. Now it's time for the village president trustees report. I don't have a report tonight. Trustee Browski, do you have a report?
Not a report, just maybe a comment regarding the governor's recent
Oh, yeah.
legislation. I think on his legislation recently, he called the Bradford pear a noxious weed. And I think effective 2028, he's going to ban sales or planting of Bradford pear trees. And I understand why, because I've got two that I despise. And I was wondering if we, the village, can maybe consider removing those from a tree permit ordinance permit and maybe notify the residents of the fact that the Illinois is calling that a noxious weed going forward. I don't know, just for a random thought. No other report. Thank you.
All right, trustee Gayton? Trustee Harris? Trustee O'Connor? Trustee Tanucci?
No report.
Village manager Sparkman?
I've all noticed the big packets of information you have on your desk tonight. Those are the final audit reports for last year. There's going to be a presentation at the next village board meeting on that, so you can take them home and read it or leave them here and I'll put them out next time, but the auditor will be here with the finance director to present.
You can look at them if you want.
Okay, there's no reason to go in an executive session tonight, correct? Dick? Okay, none from your office, all right.
Move to adjourn.
Yeah, I would be looking for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Who's, was that trustee Browski? I couldn't. Yeah, all right, seconded by trustee O'Connor. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it. Thanks, everyone.